My wife admits to cheating while we dated and she. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. Short version. My wife and I are high school sweethearts, married young, 20, and have been married almost 25 years. On our wedding day I knew that she had cheated one time, that's all she'd admitted to. Over the years I kept pressing because I knew in my gut that there were more. In year 10 of our marriage she admitted to having cheated twice, before we were married, and in year 14 she admitted to cheating 3 times before we were married. At year 20 she admitted to 4 times before we were married, but only kissing. See the pattern? Every now and then I need to talk about it and sometimes ask if she cheated more times. This always sets off an argument and her calling me unforgiving and obsessive. My point was that she never gave me the opportunity to make an informed decision to marry her. Other details: I was a virgin and she told me that she was too, but that was a lie. She did not admit that it was a lie until 2 years into our marriage when she admitted to having sex with all of her boyfriends. Over the years she made me feel bad for having feelings around our story changing. At first it was a first love leading to a marriage kind of story. It turned out to be that I was just one of many, while she truly was my first. Recently I have had the need to vent, which is why I'm posting. I gave her an ultimatum to admit everything or we divorce. She responded with no new information. I know that I will never know the truth and I have to be okay with that, but I want her to tell me more no matter how embarrassing for her. That's the least she can do. Note, she has always minimized her promiscuity as her rebellious period and that she truly was a good girl who hit a rough period, and we were young. She also mentioned that she was abused into her teens by an uncle. I went off to college and literally shared bathrooms with women and never did anything inappropriate except make cookies with an entryway mate whom I considered a friend. I have always thought that she cheated while I was away, but no hard evidence. I don't think that she has cheated since we have been married and our marriage has been good, other than this issue that has always lingered in the background. Sometimes I write notes to myself to vent. Here is the latest. Sometimes clarity comes in the middle of the night. A few thoughts. Has she told me everything? Likely not, because she refuses to swear to God despite me pointing out that it is exactly what you do when you take an oath. She was giving the old-fashioned religious excuse that she knows is not accurate because anyone who takes an oath swears to God. Last time she refused to swear was because she was not telling the complete truth. Conclusion: there is more that she knows that she is lying about. What then? I know that her mo is to tell partial truth but leave out the sex part, which means that do I think that she has told me everything? Absolutely not. I honestly think that she cheated probably 2x what she has admitted to. Perhaps she is ashamed, and I can only assume the worst. Early on in our relationship, right after high school, she went to the movies with her sister's ex-boyfriend. She said that she considered him an older brother. I recall her lying about it, but her mother told me about it by mistake. The next day when I came over, the first thing that she said was that they didn't touch each other. What? I think that was her tell. Later she admitted that he wanted to have sex with her and asked her for a kiss. She said that she was uncomfortable and told him to take her home. I have to assume that she had sex with him. With all of the others she told partial truths, but stopped short of the sex part. They'll give examples if anyone is interested. Her manager at Wendy's was a predator and had sex with the teenage girls who worked there. I remember her telling me that he tried to kiss her, but she told him that she wasn't that kind of girl. I have to assume that she had sex with him. She had sex with an adult neighbor for money. Perhaps she would have sex to get a raise. I don't expect teenagers to make the best decisions. The problem was that she was acting like we shared the same values. Earlier in our marriage it asked if Shed had sex with another neighbor. Initially she said no, but later she admitted to having sex with him before we were together. I have always suspected that she had sex with him at least once while we were together. He was always using their phone and spent a night a few times. I have to assume she had sex with him. She had another uncle, great uncle, who was a creep. He used to give her money and help her out. She admitted that he made her uncomfortable a few times, implying that she owed him something. Perhaps she had sex with him, which would have technically been illegal because she was a teenager and he was probably 70. But I could understand why she would be ashamed, and I really do feel sorry that it happened if indeed it did. Finally, she has another cousin closer to our age who used to abuse her. She recently admitted that this cousin helped her pay for her prom dress and also told her that I would never continue to be her boyfriend because I was going off to college. It is likely that she had sex with him. Again, I feel sorry that this happened, but all I want is the truth. Part of this is my fault because before she admitted anything, The morning after one of the cheating events, she asked a hypothetical question: what would you do if I had sex with someone else? I remember it like yesterday. Keep in mind I was a teenager. I said I would leave you. She said, just like that, huh? Later that day she told me that a guy she hung out with the prior night pressured her to have sex, but she did not do it. Rather, she told him to put it away. Of course that was a lie, but an example of how she has almost always told a little truth but left out the sex part. Of course she eventually admitted that she had sex that night. Same with the others that she eventually admitted to. This is also my fault because I did get angry when she admitted things over the years. Out of anger I called her slut and whore. I regret that now and have not called her name since before the second admission, which she admitted at year 10 of marriage. So she would rather lie than potentially deal with me calling her names and asking more questions. I will likely never know the full truth. Lying about being a virgin. Why? It would not have mattered much. Deep down I figured she was lying anyway. Lying about how many times? One other thing she does is minimizes the sex she had. Example: I didn't enjoy it, I've only enjoyed it with you. It wasn't what you think it was like, it wasn't like a porn movie. I never kissed while doing it, so it wasn't passionate. I never had an orgasm until I met you. We were never naked, no one has seen me naked. I never saw their penis. After her second admission, I went to a topless club because I wanted to see another woman naked. Despite having co-ed bathrooms in college, I was never inappropriate with my floor mates. I told her about it. That's when she says no one has seen my breasts. Sometimes this makes me angry and I say, really? Their penises were in your vagina, I'd rather you show them your breasts than have intercourse with them. Women, does any of this seem remotely realistic? When I was 14 I was not passionate with my hand, but it still felt good, hoping that's not too graphic. Sorry for the long rant. I am at the midpoint of my life and have no siblings or older mature aunts or cousins to discuss with. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Go back and read your post from the perspective of a stranger. You are ruminating over this subject and you are stuck in a loop. Just stop for a while. Make a pledge to yourself that every time this subject enters your mind, you will deliberately think of something else, maybe a pleasant memory of the past 25 years. You're not going to change the past, and knowing more only makes you crazier. Either accept her for who she is now, or divorce her and move on. This reminds me of the saying, you can't turn a hoe, I go a housewife, and that's what you did. She has always been a liar, she is still lying and will continue to lie. She most likely has cheated, and if by some reason she hasn't cheated, she certainly would if given the opportunity. Either leave her and don't look back, or learn to get off on the thoughts you have, and maybe your wife will open up and tell you all the dirty details. I understand how you feel, and cheating is never right, but you married her and you said she haven't cheated since you guys were married, and y'all marriage is doing great, which means she cares about the marriage, so focus on building your marriage. DW about the past, because if she betrays you in marriage now, the only thing you need to worry about is if you'll be strong enough to let her go then. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.